Yeah, it's loud.
We went across the street.
Oh. It's just mostly coconut bread. Yeah, it's nice. No, not really. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Vanacha Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Vanacha Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagat Guru Sri Prabhupada, Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Stotara, His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanavinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Shuddha Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Ganga Mai Ki Jai Shri Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Nityananda Ram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Good morning, everyone. I think we're all coming off of our post-ecstasy or still in ecstasy from the Ratha Yatra. It's quite an event. And just wanted to say, whoever's listening, that was certainly the most ecstatic Ratha Yatra here yet. Definitely the most well-attended. Beautiful new Rath cart. Big, beautiful deities that we rarely don't see, particularly here in the Dham. I'm told by certain persons that those deities are extremely heavy. They're like 150 pounds apiece. They're extremely heavy. I don't know what kind of wood they're made out of, but they're heavy. They're dense. And they were just so beautiful on that card. It was just inconceivable that was here in the Dham. So, Ratha Yatra's actually just happened in Puri, and the return Rath is coming. But today actually is Hera Panchami, which is a fun little interlude in that pastime, Lord Jagannath going to the Gundicha temple. We've seen it enacted here, play acted. I really enjoyed that when we used to do that, but I guess now, maybe next year we can do that, where everybody gets together and acts out that whole pastime. But basically the essence of Hera Panchami is that when Jagannath goes off on his excursion with his brother and sister, and isn't back right away. I'm sure some of you have heard this story. Sri Mahalakshmi Devi becomes very, very perturbed. She's very upset that Jagannath has left and he's not returning because this is her beloved. So she decides that she's going to go find him and bring him back. And she goes with her associates. Actually, she rides out on a palanquin, a palanquin to the Gundicha temple. She goes out and she's very, very upset. She's very mad. And her associates are also wielding sticks because they're expecting trouble because they're going to have to bring back her husband. And maybe in a little bit she knows he maybe is content where he's at, so she doesn't really expect that he'll come back easily. So they all converge, and she confronts her lord and is very accusatory and is like, come on, what are you doing? Why have you left? You come back now. And he's like, no, I'll be back at some point. And she gets very upset, and more upset actually. And the story goes is that his guards don't allow her to get too close because they understand from their lord that he wants to stay put. And she, on the other hand, is ready to forcibly drag him back. So her guards go forth with sticks, and a tussle is there, a fight ensues, and finally, of course, the Lord doesn't want to see this kind of discord, so he, agrees. So this is the time when he's agreed, he'll come back, and then the return Roth is in a few days. He takes his time a little bit. He finishes up his affairs there in Gundicha, and then he'll return. So that'll happen. I believe it's Thursday is the return Roth. So that's today, Hera Panchami. Panchami, I guess, is return, and Hera is, she's actually pushing that return. So bringing him back to Jagannath Puri. 5, yeah. 5, yeah. But it's something about returning. It's like 5 days of return or something. Kind of like Ekadasi is 11th day of whatever. So that's Hera Panchami. And also, today's the disappearance of Vikeshwara Pandit, who actually is a close associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I'll read a little bit about him, but it's interesting because he was he was a chief dancer in Lord Chaitanya's Rath Yatra pastimes. He went out on one of the parties, in the Rath Yatra in Lord Chaitanya's time when he went to dance, there was 4 or 5 different kirtan parties that he assigned. He assigned who would sing, who would play the drum, who else would sing, who would dance particularly, very particular about that presentation, and that, well, not just a presentation, obviously, it was the rasa, but in the Rath Yatra, he was very particular about who was where, because knowing that Vikeshwara Pandit, of course, is his very dear devotee, he had some other pastimes with him, and we can discuss those, but actually he just appeared 2 weeks ago. There was a class by Justa Prabhu on the pastimes of Vikeshwara Pandit, but the essence is he was a very well-known and ecstatic dancer, and he danced in the Rath Yatra. And I was also reading, I had understood that he was an incarnation of Tunga Vidya, one of the chief gopis, but also I was reading and had confirmation from His Holiness Sri Krishna Goswami that he's an incarnation of Aniruddha, which is Krishna's son, and that Krishna put him into places specifically to churn that dance. And it's said that when Vikeshwara Pandit dances, wherever Vikeshwara Pandit dances or whenever, Krishna himself appears, because he's, obviously Aniruddha, but he's also sort of like the ecstatic dance acharya, for us to aspire to when we're thinking that we would dance for the pleasure of the Lord, like yesterday in the Rath Yatra, or here even in the temple, remembering Vikeshwara Pandit as the foremost dancer, who could dance for 72 hours in a row. 72 hours in a row. I mean, yesterday, the Rath Yatra, everybody was still dancing by 7:30, I'd say, which is a good 4 hours from when the deities appeared on the cart, maybe 3.5. And, dancing here and there during that time. But, that wasn't very long. But imagining dancing for that bit of time, which was quite tiring. I mean, I think you were there, and, there was everybody, we were dancing. But 72 hours, phew, that's quite a feat. Superhuman feat. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Vikeshwara Pandit, whenever I think of Vikeshwara Pandit, I remember Vikeshwara Pandit or read about Vikeshwara Pandit, just think about him being the Lord of the dance. He's just always there in the Lord's pastimes. He's dancing. Tugavidya is actually the chief gopi in charge of dancing. She's like the chief dancer. She directs all the dancing, and she orchestrates, and it's very much like synchronized for Krishna, and also in the Rath Yatra for Lord Chaitanya, the pleasure of Lord Chaitanya. So that's Vikeshwara Pandit, and I'm going to read the next verse because it's interesting. There's some parallels with the next verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm going to read Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 63, Text 47. Also, this is a very compelling pastime, as they all are in Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, yeah, you got it. Okay. Okay. Avadyo yamamapyaisha vairochani sutosura praradaya varodato navadyo me tarvanvaya avadyo yamamapyesha vairochani sutosura praradaya varodata navadyo me patavanyavaya avadyo yamamapyesha vairochani sutosura praradaya varodato navadyo me tavanvaya. Avadyo yamamapyesha vairochani sutosura praradaya varodato navadyo me tavanvaya. Avadyo yamamapyesha vairochani sutosura praradaya varodato navadyo me tavanvaya. Anyone else? Avadyo yamamapyesha vairochani sutosura praradaya varodato navadyo me tavanvaya. Avadya, not to be killed. I am he, mama, by me. Api, indeed. Esha, this. Vairochani Sutta, son of Vairochani, Bali. Asura, demon. Praradaya, to Prahlad. Vara, the benediction. Data, given. Navadya, not to be killed. Me, by me. Tava, your. Anvaya, descendants. Translation: I will not kill this demonic son of Vairochani, for I gave Prahlad Maharaj the benediction that I would not kill any of his descendants. Please repeat, I will not kill this demonic son of Vairochani, for I gave Prahlad Maharaj the benediction that I would not kill any of his descendants. So there's no purport by the servants at the BBT for this translation, but I will read the tikas of the acharyas. There's one by Jiva Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, and here's from Jiva Goswami. I will certainly not kill him. Though he is a demon, he will not be killed because He is the son of Vairochani. Another version has Vairochana. He is a descendant related to Prahlad. Because of this, he cannot be born as an insect, snake, or frog in his next life. I cannot kill him like Putana or Baka. Worrying about inauspiciousness for the people, snakes and others were killed by my friends. Others related to Prahlad, though evil, should be taught by punishment. Sanatana Goswami writes, the Lord speaks to remove the restriction felt by Shiva's humility. Though he is a demon, I will not kill him because he is Vairochani's son. This fact is repeated in the second line, but it is not redundant since it comes in two separate statements. There is also another version. Om Agyanatana Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Ulminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Namo Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Vishesha Sunyavari Paschata Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Guru Krishna Das Goswami Niti Namine Namaham Sanikashaya Prabhupada Priyayate Sudrida Sudi Nisyambhyam Tashavakini Vadide. So we've been hearing about this very, it's just, I don't know, it's quite an unbelievable pastime, that time when Shiva and Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna fought and over this particular demon and Banasura with 1,000 arms. Now he's been cut down. Now he has only a few arms. And Krishna herein is telling Lord Shiva why he's not killing Banasura. You know, usually we see Lord Krishna and he's Asura Kula Nasana, you know, he vanquishes all the demons. He's very strict and firm about those things, and we've seen him vanquish so many demons throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam. I'd say in the demon spectrum that Banasura is kind of demon light. You know, he's not as heinous as some. And actually, if we examine Banasura a little bit, yeah, he's extremely puffed up, but he actually is a great devotee of Lord Shiva. You know, that's why he's come under this protection of Lord Shiva. That's why Lord Shiva went out and fought Krishna. And, you know, that's quite remarkable that a demigod, or Lord Shiva, however we classify, would fight on behalf of a demon, fight Lord Krishna on behalf of demons. Quite remarkable. So we can understand that Banasura is, he's some kind of an elevated personality. And he, ultimately, the whole thing started because he's very protective of his chastity of his daughter. You know, very sort of righteous reason that he began this whole campaign. So here, Krishna is giving his pledge that he's not going to kill Banasura. You know, he's just going to teach him a lesson, right? And it's interesting because Jiva Goswami particularly talks about that he cannot be born as an insect, snake, or frog. And, you know, typically we've heard that a sage is, and read that a sage is actually glad when a snake or a scorpion, I think it's mentioned, or kind of those kind of personalities, you know, those sort of souls are vanquished because they're envious. They are provoked without any good reason. You know, they're very, they're just, you know, heinous because that's how they're built. That's how they're born. And, you know, we've seen some demons in the past times that are also a little bit, they can't be reasoned with. There was never any good, right? Take the case of Kamsa, who He was born a demon because he had a row with Vishnu in another life. He was incarnated from another, or he was reborn as a demon from being another demon. So there's these personalities that they're just envy through and through, and seemingly can't be rectified. And Krishna smashes them in due time. But it's to be noted that with these kind of personalities, sometimes I was reflecting on some insects, some snakes, and things like that. They can't. Sometimes people can't really be reformed in their current incarnation. They have a body that they're given based on their desires when they're brought forth in the world, and that's kind of how, that's their line all the way through with that body. They're not really able to divert and be rectified, so to speak. In this world we have many methods of rectification that we try to impose on persons. And how many times have we heard that there's, in the criminal justice system, I'm thinking particularly, sometimes people go to jail. They go to jail because they're being punished for something. But supposedly jail is a form of a rectifying agent. It's supposed to be a mechanism by which somebody can be rehabilitated. I mean, that's not the case in today's day and age. They don't pay much attention to rehabilitation of those sorts of people. So then those people are just kind of wiped off, wiped out of society. They're just sort of erased, if they're in jail for life, or, if they don't have many lawyers that are giving them, so much time and filing for stays if they're supposed to be executed after killing somebody. They're just in there. They're in there for life. They're just taken out of the scene. And, that could have happened to Banasura, but in this way, Krishna is actually rectifying Banasura. He's actually going out of his way to help Banasura, because apparently Krishna must understand, well, obviously Krishna knows everything, but he's, for our benefit, he's showing us that, sometimes he will benedict somebody that's he feels is worthy. And even though it might seem that they're really far out and they're beyond any kind of reasonability, Krishna actually will step in and he'll give that person a little bit of a helping hand. He'll give them a leg up on how they should proceed in life. And we'll hear the rest of this chapter very soon, but I'm just have been reflecting on the that of Banasura, and we can understand Banasura isn't really that horrible of a person. I mean, he did a lot of things that obviously are not acceptable by in the Bhagavatam standard, or even by our standards. He did some things. But, that was in the course of his actions, kind of as a Kshatriya, and he wanted to fight, etc. So now he's getting his comeuppance. Banasura is getting his comeuppance. And I'm sure he'll be quite appreciative. And I was thinking about this particular point, that Krishna's giving him this benediction, so to speak. He's cutting off all except for 4 of his arms. And he's agreed to Lord Shiva that he won't kill him, because he made that promise to Prahlad, many moons ago. He made that promise to Prahlad. And, when Krishna takes charge of his devotee, he has a very wonderful and unique way to weave their lives in such a way that they're getting exactly what they need, but maybe not exactly what they want, right? So when we're the recipient of those sorts of comeuppances, or those teaching moments from Krishna or whatever. It's actually, for me personally, I'm sure many of you can attest, there's senior devotees here, when you get those sort of aha moments that correct your mentality, it's actually really relieving, and also it's fills me with hope, because then I'm thinking, okay, Krishna hasn't forgotten, infinitesimal me over here, and yes, I'm doing some nonsense, or I'm thinking something, or I'm thinking of dealing with something. Usually for me, I'm thinking of dealing with something in maybe not the best way, So then having to kind of reel back and think about, oh, okay, what's the best course of action? Because if, for us, Krishna's not going to cut off arms, but he's going to give us sort of little reminders, littler pokes and prods. And, he'll do that through other devotees many times, other devotees, or through Chaita Guru, he'll do those things. And then, like a little light goes on in the head, and it's like, oh wow, okay, yes, now I'm clear. Now I remember. And then with those moments, as we cultivate that sort of humble mood, because that's all lessons in humility. This Rabanasura, this is a big lesson in humility, right? And when we sort of have many comeuppances on our day-to-day life, those are lessons in humility. It helps us to be introspective and remember our place in the world. Remember how we should proceed. And then we can actually more clearly have access to these pastimes, to things like this ecstatic Rath Yatra, through reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita and other literatures about these great personalities that are in our line, that we can understand them more when we have those, moments of humility, and we remember, oh, I'm not the controller. I'm not the big controller here. Yes, I want it all and I want it now, but not today. Krishna will give me what I need when I need it, and I can be satisfied with that, right? So then we can actually proceed with a clearer head and a better understanding of our place in the world, and how these acharyas are all kind of converging. Lord Jagannath is said to be the Lord of the universe. He sees all, he witnesses all. It's said that he attracts all, particularly it's said that he attracts children and kind of people that aren't of the best, rogues? I don't know what the actual terminology is, but also meat eaters, and just sort of, he attracts everybody, kind of in the way Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva's, he's a Maha Vaishnava, and he attracts so many persons with also his sort of approach and his appearance, right? And Jagannath has a very unique kind of appearance and approach, and he's extremely magnanimous, also like Lord Shiva, So Krishna, I was just thinking about how Krishna comes in so many ways. There's so many, there's so much variegatedness that Krishna displays to try to attract everyone and anyone to him. There's something for everyone in Krishna consciousness, whether you're you're attracted by, sometimes I hear about those who are very attracted to Nrsingadev, and those persons, they've undergone a lot of trauma in their life. So Lord Nrsinga is their protector. They're just so like, they feel so blessed with that magnanimity that Lord Nrsingadev is their protector. And, sometimes many persons are attracted to the love and the tenderness of the goddess, in various forms, whether it's Mahalakshmi or Sri Radha or Uma, Parvati, or, so many other of the female, the feminine forms, Yesterday, one person was talking about the dressing, and he couldn't figure out why Krishna, in his vision, Krishna looked like Sri Dwarkadish, but Radharani looked like Radharani. She looked like the Queen of Vrindavan, and he was like, what was your vision when you were dressing, and were you thinking about? And I said, no, I wasn't. I wasn't thinking about anything particular. When you get on the step on the altar, I'm not. Everything goes blank. Krishna and Radha are dressing themselves. You're just presenting things for them to see, and trying things on, and sometimes they'll throw it down. It's not really anything that can be predicted. But he was very much interested in this, the Dwarkadish and Radha juxtaposition. And finally, he came to the conclusion that yesterday was some special mercy because it was Rath Yatra day, and that Sri Radha was sort of looking like the topmost gopi, Vrindavaneshwari, and she was pulling her Lord, she was actually pulling her Lord back to Vrindavan, she was actually in that mood, So it's interesting how Krishna shows everybody a different bit. There's so many facets. There's unlimited facets to Krishna consciousness and to Krishna's, what he displays. There's unlimited. So there's many things that can capture and hold our attention and keep us out of that sort of, it's said that the demon and the devotee dwell in the same body in Kali Yuga. I'm sure many of us have heard that. So to try to keep us out of that, that the dark side of ourselves, pull us out of that, bring us more to the bright light, toward that benediction as given to us by Srila Prabhupada, turning hippies into happies, etc., to try to bring us out of that. He's able to present many things to us at different times. And even here, we're reading that, he's not going to kill Banasura. He promised he wouldn't. He promised Prahlad many moons ago, many yugas, however that, I still don't know about the timings of those things, but, it seems like that incarnation was a long time ago. And he's keeping that promise, because Krishna is the most solid in that respect. He's always there. He's our friend. He's our well-wisher. He's our mother. He's our father. He's, everything. Well, maybe not our mother, but our father. He's our brother. He's our friend. So he's always there to try to help us along, to try to get to him. And I'm sure Banasura, in his own way, will turn into a devotee at this point, after he's spared. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're all, right, yeah, they're all. Yeah, Bali's a devotee. Everybody, yeah, devotees. Yeah, right. Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Ratha Yatra ki jai, Jagannath Swami ki jai, Vikeshwar Pandit ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai.
Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvanta Maravindanalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Tandar ako di kamania Visesha Shobha
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachadini Nirvisesha Sanyavari Paschcha Desatarini Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Haribo Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Haribo, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitya Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaur. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe, Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe, Golokananda Radha Golokananda. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Pakavacharya. Founder Srila Prabhupada ki, Shishi Radha Krishna, Go Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Navadvip Dham ki, Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Jamuna Mahi ki, Ganga Mahi ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakta Devi ki, Shishi Radha Golokananda ki, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Ranga.
Chaitodarpana Your diet